Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live. So tonight we have a special, James Bond Bitcoin Live 0089 hashtag promotion. So a little something special. Let's go over the notes section here real quick. I got the typical, all the links from previous episode with Bitcoin Silver, make Bitcoin decentralized again. Now, I recently went to the forum and I checked it out to see how it's doing. Man, it is getting a beating over there. So, not too sure what's going to happen with Bitcoin Silver. It is getting beat pretty bad. Oh, sorry. All right, so let's have a look at what else is in the notes section here real quick. The it's time to stop meme, it's still there. Love that meme. I'm just going to keep it there until either Bitcoin Silver actually commits hard forking, which I would say it's committing suicide in my opinion. And then after that, it's Bitcoin Platinum, the true decentralized Bitcoin fair proof of work multi-algorithm. I think that's a dead project. I'm pretty sure that's a dead project. That's also supposed to come out in November. I'll leave it up there. I'm pretty sure it's getting a good beating. If Bitcoin Silver is getting a beating, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin Platinum is getting a good beating as well. And last, the wild card, Bitcoin Uranium. Make Bitcoin great again. Radioactive coin. I haven't been there. Last time I checked, some people were interested. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's not pre-mined. But if it's not pre-mined, how can you pay all the promoters? How can you pay all the community managers and the exchanges to list it? Well, it has its own challenge. And how can you pay the pools to offer it to everybody else, right? Amazing. You didn't really need that in the beginning of when all this cryptocurrency took off, but you need it now because we've all become what we hated the most, the incumbent system. And also in the notes section is a list of AirDrops Last update, 29th October 2017. I haven't been back there. I'm sure it updates every day. Now, if you're into free money falling from the sky, that's where you want to go. All right, so in the notes section now, I'm getting to the meat of the show here. Statement on potentially unlawful promotion of initial coin offerings and other investments by celebrities and others. SEC Division of Enforcement and SEC Office of Compliance Inspections and Examinations. November 1st, 2017. This links directly to the sec.gov website, and I'll have fun reading that to you and seeing what's going on with that. We'll get into that a little bit later on the show. And then next is split or no split. Bitcoin miners see no certainty in SegWit 2x fork. That's dated today, coindesk.com. We'll get into that as well. And next is the Bitcoin Gold team has implemented protection against replay transaction. This is coming from bit.news. So we'll go over that as well. You think it's all good for Bitcoin Gold? Well, not quite. I'm still not able to split the coin yet. And then next in the note section is SegWit Charts. as well as um, I got something here from excuse me, best mass miner attack strategy. Since SegWit 2X is coming up, it's a video. Clash of Clans, it's a game. Maybe the miners have this simple strategy in mind. It's a YouTube video. Mass miner attack strategy, Clash of Clans, Townhome 11 or Townhouse 11, I believe. That's a video. Check it out. And then I have another video, which is I always have a video or music or something that kind of relates to the theme of today's episode, and it's I'm Ready Promotion. It's a SpongeBob video. And then, of course, hashtag yes2x57, what you're looking at right now. I have a link to that. And then also a link to the pot of gold, the Bitcoin pot of gold. What's the Bitcoin pot of gold address? It's a SegWit address. Go ahead and donate to it. It's probably well above $30 by now because the price has gone up tremendously. But I still need somebody to donate into it for me to give out the third clue to the third word of the 24-word recovery seed. And I have a Hiroja Shive Space Odyssey Network. I have a link to her channel. Go and check her out. And subscribe to her, as well as Skive. Link to his channel. Go ahead and subscribe to him. And check him out too as well. And Yes for Motivation. Link to his channel as well. Wonderful videos he has. Go ahead and subscribe and watch his channel and follow him as well. All right, so let's go on to the meme here and let's check out what's going on here. So I'm ready promotion. I should say like SpongeBob. I'm ready promotion. I'm ready promotion. If you haven't seen this video in a long time or you haven't seen this cartoon, I was forced to watch it raising my young child. I had to watch it, and I've probably seen most of the SpongeBob episodes, even all the movies, and my goodness, I had to buy the DVD and everything. Anyways, I'm ready promotion. Would you like to become a promoter of any ICOs or other investments or a cryptocurrency or a lending platform for cryptocurrencies? Or would you like to promote a cryptocurrency, especially one that's pre-mined and which you're being compensated for? Hashtag yes2x. So there you go. There's the meme for today. And you'll understand why in just a moment. So let's go on to the next episode here, or the next thing here. Oh, yes. I restarted my computer. It should like show up pretty fast. The voice, the sound should be a little bit better. Cleared the cache. Anyways, here's the Bitcoin pot of gold. Please donate. Enjoy the fun and trying to take all those Bitcoins and I don't know, hopefully you'll be rich one day. They'll be worth, Bitcoin will go to like $100 million. I don't know how many Satoshis in there, but I think there's at least a couple 100,000 Satoshis, and you'll have couple $100,000 in the future. You could buy a Lambo. I think that's enough for a Lambo, at least a used Lambo. Anyways, the QR code on the right is a private key in which you can try to crack the code. Again, if you donate and I can get it above $30, I can give you the clue to the third word of the 24-word recovery seed. And the link on the bottom, or the QR code on the bottom there, is gives you a link to Yellow Fever for You. He's the one that gave me this idea, so there you go. A little plug-in for him. All right, let's get to the heart of the matter. This is directly from the sec.gov website. It's a public statement. The title is Statement on Potentially Unlawful Promotion of Initial Coin Offerings and Other Investments by Celebrities and Others. Others probably meaning all you wannabe YouTube celebrities and social media, I don't know, kings and queens. Basically all the wannabes that feel like they, including myself, want to feel special in this space, making videos and creating Facebook pages and tweeting out things. So let me read the first paragraph, and that'll probably give you a good idea what's going on. Celebrities and others are using social media. Celebrities and others are using social media network to encourage the public to purchase stocks and other investments. Now you're probably saying, stock? What stock? Well, how about the stock that you were all pumping during the ICO, also known as the Dow? Could you imagine all those people with all those videos when they were promoting ICOs that were clearly stocks? They were securities. Anyways, I'll get into that a little bit later. These endorsements may be unlawful if they do not disclose the nature, source, and amount of any compensation paid directly or indirectly by the company in exchange for the endorsement. I think a lot of that was happening. A lot of that was happening, people. Okay. The SEC's Enforcement Division and Office of Compliance Inspections and Examinations encourage investors to be wary of investments opportunities that sound too good to be true. Like, I don't know, 1% every day. We encourage investors to research potential investments rather than rely on paid endorsements from artists, sports figures, or other icons, i.e., the wannabe YouTubers and wannabe celebrity kings and queens of the crypto space. How you doing? Dual overhead camness. Nice to always have you here. Good to see you in the chat. So that kind of gives you an idea of the public statement here. Let's just go over it. I'll just read the whole thing. It's not that long, and I think it's worth reading because after all, it is a public statement. So the public should definitely be informed because, now that you've been informed, hopefully you can disclose, right? You need to disclose the nature, source, and the amount of any compensation paid directly or indirectly by the company in exchange for the endorsement. So you need to disclose this stuff when you're promoting, all right? And most likely you're being watched. There's probably 100% chance you're being watched. It's, when you're promoting, it's hard not to get found out, especially if you're promoting yourself and you're trying to get to the top of the search, page. You're going to be watched. All right. And deleting your videos after, especially on YouTube, there's probably a very, very good chance that they already have it on file somewhere and it can just easily be plucked from the delete file, right? Obviously, you made this video, you had X amount of views to it, you did it on this date, it went on from this date to this date, this is when it was deleted. I think there's a record of it. I'm pretty sure. So let's read on the second paragraph. Celebrities and others have recently promoted investments in initial coin offerings In the SEC's report of investigations concerning the DAO, the commission warned that the virtual tokens or coins sold in ICOs may be securities, and those who offered and sell securities in the United States must comply with the federal securities law. Any celebrity or other individual who promotes a virtual token or coin that is a security must disclose the nature, scope, and amount of compensation received in exchange for the promotion. A failure to disclose this information is a violation of the anti-touting provisions of the federal securities law. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you felt like, what's the big deal? Don't you ever wonder why people on CNBC always told you whether they owned a stock or they didn't own the stock? Don't you ever wonder why they disclose that information? And don't you ever wonder why when CNBC talks about themselves like they're owned by NBC or Comcast, I think they're owned by Comcast now, they say Comcast is or CNBC is a subsidiary of Comcast, Don't you ever wonder why they say that? They're disclosing it, right? They're disclosing it. So anyways, let's go on here. Persons making these endorsements may also be liable for potential violations of the anti-fraud fraud provisions of the federal securities law for participating in an unregistered offer and sale of securities, and for acting as an unregistered brokers. The SEC will continue to focus on these types of promotions to protect investors and to ensure compliance with the securities law. Well, that sounded kind of straightforward. If you were confused, and I am reading this out for people who are too lazy to go to the site and read it for themselves, so you could just listen to the video and then you'll get a good idea what's going on. If I missay anything, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I'm reading it word for word, and I'm adding my comments in there as well. Let's go on to the third paragraph and the final paragraph. And there's some links, additional links on the bottom of there as well. Investors should note that celebrity endorsements may appear unbiased, but instead may be part of a paid promotion. Investment decisions should not be based solely on an endorsement by a promoter or other individual. Celebrities who endorse an investment often do not have sufficient expertise to ensure that the investment is appropriate and in compliance with federal securities law. I think that's just about everybody on YouTube. Just about everybody on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's, in fact, I'm positive that's 100% of YouTubers out there. Let's see, where was I? Lost myself. All right. Conduct research before making investments, including in ICOs. If you are relying on a particular endorsement or recommendation, learn more regarding the relationship between the promoter and the company, and consider whether the recommendation is truly independent or a paid promotion. For more information, see Investor Alert at the SEC's Office of Investors Education and Advocacy issued today regarding celebrity endorsement. There you go. So a little public service announcement there, public statement from your all-eye-seeing U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. There you go. So, for almost, when was the DAO? The DAO was, my goodness, the DAO almost happened 2 years ago, at least a year and a half. And think about all the ICOs, all the promotions of other investments that people have made throughout the space, and consider how many videos they made and how many people saw them. And I suppose these smart people really believe that nobody in law enforcement whatsoever, no regulator would be watching. So I wonder who they're watching now. They're probably watching everybody, my guess. If they made this public statement, they're watching you. Now, interestingly enough, I did have a chance to see a live stream of the Ethereum developers conference, I think, in Cancun. There was a section in there where they had someone talk about regulations. And from what I can tell, the ICOs that are coming out, there's going to be only two types of ICOs. Well, let's put it this way, three types of ICOs from this point on. There's going to be your exit scam. Basically, the whole purpose of that ICO is to collect your money and then exit scam. The second type is just a pure charity. You're literally just giving your money away. All right? Like literally, you're giving your money away. I don't care if they're a utility token or if they're a token of appreciation. You're literally just giving your money away. You could probably redeem those tokens for a service or product, whatever. But essentially, that kind of business model makes no sense to me, because why would you pay for basically what I would call an IOU? Okay, basically an IOU to buy their service or product at a later date for 1-to-1. Why not just let them make the product and you just go out and buy it? So this ICO for a utility token to be used on their platform is utterly nonsense. So there's the second type. The third type, all right, the third type would be an actual use token, a utility token, which I kind of covered on the second, but basically it's something that you would be buying to use on the platform. And that's about it. And again, that kind of is more of a donation than anything else. All right. So really, there's really two types of ICOs after this. Beyond this point, there's going to be your scam, exit scam ICO, and then your charity, your charity ICO. Basically, you're just giving your money away at that point. So, hey, Richie Rich, how you doing? Yes, yes, Richie Rich. They're going after promoters now. Are you shocked? You shouldn't be shocked. Out of everyone, you should be like, you should have seen this guy. I saw this coming. I saw this coming a mile away. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually still tried to promote. But by all means, it's a free country. You know, I'm not going to stop you from violating any securities law or anything like that. How you doing, M. Brown? Good to see you. So anyways, let's go on to the next thing here. There you go. I restarted my computer, closed a lot of windows. All right, so hopefully the sound is much better. All right, this is coming from CoinDesk. Split or no split? Bitcoin miners see no certainty in SegWit 2x fork. If you haven't had a chance to read this, this is very interesting. It seems a lot of people, well, I should say a lot of miners, are keeping a very tight lip about the SegWit 2x fork coming up here. And I don't blame them, because they don't want to get too much backlash. But it seems like a lot of the small miners, or the small mining pools, definitely feel that the hard fork is coming. Some of the larger mining pools, well, I think they're playing a little dumb, because they don't want to reveal their hand and how things are going to go down. So if you read this article, you'll definitely get. Let me just read some of the quoted areas. You can. There's a link in the notes section. You can definitely go down and check it out for yourself. To be honest, I do not care about Bitcoin now. Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin. I earn by mining Bitcoin, selling it, and buying Bitcoin Cash. We mine for the most profit and buy Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so this is coming from a miner. Looks like from BTC Top. This whole quote totally contradicts itself. It totally contradicts itself. So this makes no sense. This mining pool mines Bitcoin, sells Bitcoin, and then buys Bitcoin Cash. Now, if you think about that, the fact that Bitcoin has gone up to almost what's the price now? I'm going to check the price real quick on my phone. I'll get to a chart analysis, and I'm going to go over I'll probably go over the market cap because I did want to talk about that. I'll go over the fees as well, and then also the mempool, and do a chart analysis. So let's see what the price is right now. It's mooning right now. My goodness. All right, so the high today was $6,915.30. This is on Bitstamp. Current price, as I'm making this video, live stream, is $6,839.53. So what would you rather mine? Something that is pumping right now, or something that is worth only about 400 bucks? Maybe it's being pumped up to 500 bucks right now. Doesn't make sense. Absolutely doesn't make any sense. But anyways, let me go on to the next quote here. Let's see what is the next quote? Okay, next quote is pretty much on the very bottom. In the mining world, we believe value follows hash rate. More chains equals more hardware. So I don't think the miners really mind all the hard forks, because they're seeing this as an opportunity for them to make even more money, jumping around different blockchains with their hashing power. Not only that, but to create a mining hardware industry. So for these miners, again, they don't really care about the technology. They're in it for the money. And I think this article really shows their motivations. So in light of this fact, miners will probably migrate to the most profitable coin. Now, it doesn't make any sense if you read this article about what some of them are trying to do. They're going to mine Bitcoin, sell Bitcoin, and then buy up the other blockchain, the Bitcoin Cash or SegWit 2x. If this makes, that is so illogical. That would mean in order for your blockchain to survive, you wouldn't mine your own chain that you would want to mine, even though it's the most. Let's just say, for example, you're mining Bitcoin right now, and in order for you to take value from another blockchain, you would have to mine their blockchain, mine someone else's coin, right? Some other blockchain, Bcash, SegWit 2x, mine their coin, dump it, and transfer the value onto your chain. Does that make any sense that you would have to mine someone else's chain in order to mine their coin and dump it to bring value back to your chain? It makes no sense. This is absurdity. So the plan is to mine Bitcoin, take the Bitcoins and sell them, transfer value to your chain, but still mine Bitcoin. Now you got to keep in mind, these miners are already mining Bitcoin and they're already dumping anyway. So this plan of what they're doing. It sounds really strange, but in order to win this split or the forking that's going on here, you have to mine your opponent's chain to get their coin and then dump it and bring the value back into your own chain. Ludicrous. This is ludicrous, in my opinion. Anyways, read it for yourself. Go check it out. All right, so here you go. So here's the fees. No longer 21.co, now earn.com with their ICO coming up. So let's refresh it. Let's see what the fees are. The fees are probably going to be high. Let me see here. I'll just scroll down to the part right here. So average is 200 Satoshis for medium transactions of 226 bytes, which is typically one input with two outputs, and a resulting fee of almost 50,000 Satoshis. So that's just the median. The fastest, cheapest fee, according to earn.com. And you can see it right about here. You can see where most of the transactions in blue are taking place in the past 24 hours in this area right here. So it ranges from 200 to 270 Satoshis per byte. You can see that a lot of the mempool is being clogged up here around 1 to 10 Satoshis per byte with this many in the mempool in the last 336 hours, and only very few compared to the amount of mempool that's in there, transactions in the mempool in the past 336 hours, very few transactions in the last 24 hours. So this should give you just a good idea of where you want to be on your transaction fees, anywhere from 200 to 270 Satoshis per byte. All right, excellent. So this is where I'm going to go into the coin market cap. All right, so here's the coin market cap. We're at $188 billion in total market cap. Bitcoin dominance is at 61.2%. That's most likely, it's trending up. It's trending up. So what's going on? I think it's fair to say that the altcoins are suffering really bad. If anything, the forks are literally killing altcoins. And I had to think about this: is why are the forks killing Bitcoin? It's my belief on the exchange platforms in which these forks are being traded on. One, a lot of exchanges with altcoins, they're trading into Bitcoin. They're taking their profits from, which is obviously, in my opinion, all this time, altcoins were used for the sole purpose of making bag holders out of all these fools, these greater fools who thought they could make more Bitcoin or make more money on altcoins. They're being turned into bag holders, while the previous bag holders are dumping on them and going into Bitcoin, mainly to get the split. Second thing is everything is valued in Bitcoin on these exchanges compared to altcoins. So it's Bitcoin to altcoin, or Bitcoin to whatever token, ICO, whatever. And so when you get the split, the money is being extracted between the two pairs of Bitcoin and altcoin. So when you get the split fork coins, the value is not being extracted from Bitcoin per se. It's getting extracted from altcoins. So people are reinvesting either back into Bitcoin, and that value on the exchanges, okay, I'm not talking about peer to peer, I'm talking about on exchanges. Where does that money come from the split coin? It just comes out of thin air? It doesn't come out of thin air. It comes from the exchange itself. It's being taken away from altcoins, or I should say the price of Bitcoin is increasing compared to altcoins, and that's why you see these altcoins going down in value. And then on the third thing is people are just selling their altcoins, period. Altcoins have been on a decline. They've been trending down while Bitcoin has been trending up. And that's been happening for almost about 2 months now. So there you go. The Bitcoin dominance will probably most likely return back to, I'm really thinking 80%. 80%. There's something about the 80-20% rule. So basically, 20% of the market is going to be fed off from the 80%. So in this particular situation, all right, the altcoins, which are 80% of the market as far as coins out there, is feeding Bitcoin, which represents only 20% of the market. So when you look at the Bitcoin dominance, you got to invert it to get the idea of market saturation. So 80% of all the other altcoins out there are feeding into 20% of Bitcoin. So what I'm saying is Bitcoin only represents 20% of the saturation out there, but yet has 80% dominance, if that makes sense. So what you're seeing is now you're seeing the flipping. This is the flipping that everybody was talking about early in the year. But I bet you they didn't expect it to be going the other way. They were expecting it coming from Bitcoin. So no, Richie Rich, that's not what I'm saying. Richie Rich says, so I believe altcoins are worth 20% as much as Bitcoin. Haha. Well, not necessarily. I'm just saying altcoins never die. The bag holders out there, which represent 80% of the market, okay, are holding on to the altcoins, and they're feeding into the 20% bag holders or Bitcoin hodlers. They're making the Bitcoin hodlers richer, is what's happening. So that's what's really going on. The bag holders of altcoins that represent 80% of the market are feeding the Bitcoin hodlers, which are 20% of the market. Inverse it. So, okay, so that's enough of that. And then let's go on to the next thing is the mempool. Get into that real quick. Let's see here. Okay, it's going. Sorry if it's taking a long time. Interesting. Anyways, the mempool, I think last time I checked it was about 20,000 transactions in the mempool. So it is still full. A lot of price actions going on. I'm not sure if people are getting a lead or ahead. Oh, I did have something else. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. I do have something else. I apologize. So while that's turning away, Bitcoin Gold team has implemented protection against replay transaction. So they just did it apparently today, or they just announced it today. Hello, Surgeon C. Welcome back. So let's read the first thing here. Bitcoin Gold developers announced the addition of replay protection, as noted on their website. Protection against repeat playback is an important function that prevents erroneous sending of coins to another chain in this situation. Bitcoin Gold developers use a SigHash fork ID solution. So this is their Twitter. You can see that they've announced that, and you could read the development archives. And supposedly the price took a little bump. I should have, let me actually try to see if I can go over that real quick here. Let me see. BTG, Bitcoin Gold Futures. Let's check that out. Hello, buy Bitcoin. How you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you around. So last time I checked, I think Bitcoin Gold was 120, 120-ish. So it did take a little bump, slight little bump, but look at this. This thing's flat. It took a slight little bump here around 156, 159, 160, somewhere around there. Right now it's hovering around, what's it say, 139, 137. So a little bit better, but you got to keep in mind that it's still not available because I checked my Coinami wallet. Bitcoin Gold is not available yet, so you can't split. I can't split any of my Bitcoin Gold from my Bitcoin. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is just being supported because no one can dump their Bitcoin Gold yet. It'll be interesting to see as soon as everything happens here. And why is not? Okay, I might have to. Might have to do another way. I'm trying to get to trade block. Okay, finally trade block. Let me get to this here. So there you go. There's a link in the note section for that. Now, I think they've just implemented it. And so they're talking about having a test net now. And so this is still untested and unproven. You know, M. Brown, I did hear about Amazon buying three domain names related to cryptocurrency. I did hear about it, but I don't know which ones. If you know which ones they are, please let me know in the chat so I could tell everybody in the audience who watches the video. I don't know which cryptocurrencies, but I'll be really surprised to see if one of them is Bitcoin.com, which I think is already owned by someone else. But I don't know how that relates to. Well, I think that might be good news. It shows that they're interested. They may be starting their own cryptocurrency, maybe for their own platform, perhaps, maybe, but not certain. Okay, so it's reduced a little bit. The chart shows a little spike of 40,000 here, but I don't think that's real. Anyways, it's reduced down a little bit, so you can see the transactions have come down, but the price has gone up. And I'll go over the price a little bit and do a chart analysis on this. So current transactions in the mempool is 12,265 transactions in the mempool and counting. It's gone down, but you still need to put a very high fee into your transactions here to get it into the next block. So I'm looking for also. I'm figuring out what the block time and how many days. So we have 14 days, 4 hours, 49 minutes, and 52 seconds till SegWit 2x activation. So that is on block number 492,739 block. So we're at, oh, I'm sorry, that's the current block. When's the next block coming? So the block in which it's going to activate is 494,784. Fourth block, I should say. So we got about 2,000, about 2,000 blocks, a little bit over 2,000 blocks left. And what I also understand is that there might be a difficulty adjustment before the fork, when the fork actually occurs. So I think there's a difficulty adjustment as well. So most likely the difficulty will increase again, because I think there's a lot of mining and hashing power coming online. I do believe that's going to happen, because after all, we're going to have 3 blockchains with SHA-256, and then you're going to have to somehow balance 3 blockchains with the current mining hashing power that's there right now. So it makes sense for more miners to come online. And I do believe more miners are coming online right now as we speak. So that's that. Now let me go into the chart analysis here. Excuse me. What is wrong with my thing today? All right, so here we are on the chart. So here's the 1 hour, and man, that looks really overbought. But I'm not going to complain, because we're in the unicorn market, so it's going to do really irrational. It's going to be really irrational. I'm going to tell you that right now. So you see, it's at the high of 6,915. 6,000 may be a mental barrier, and that's why it may have stopped right there, almost at 7,000. But let me go into a 12-hour. And if you look at the 12-hour, it's really following that simple moving average. It's a weighted simple moving average, but it's pushing really hard. It's a lot of momentum. And I have a sneaky suspicion that it also has a lot of short squeezes. There's probably a lot of short squeeze going on. Probably trying to short it and getting wrecked really bad. So there's that. There could be a potential of a pullback at around 6,000 or at 6,500, somewhere around there, 6,500. So let's look on the 3-day. Take a look at this. And the 3-day is pumping really hard. There's a huge gap right here between the simple moving average right here on, I think it's a 10-period weighted simple moving average, or it's a weighted average, I should say, and where it is right now. So let's see what the support could be Support here is 60, around 6,200, and then a support here at 47, almost 4,800. So, but there is a huge gap right here that I'm looking at, and we'll see how long it's going to last. Let's see if there's a little pullback. Again, when you're in a unicorn market, anything's possible. This is 1 week, and 1 week is looking really, really strong. I'm going to make this line here on the weekly, and we're going to see if it's able to. Is that right? I don't think that's right. Let me try one more time. All right, trying to be really precise here. All right, so here's the weekly, and guess what? We hit the top line, everyone. Look at that. We've hit the top line. It's finally hit. Oh my, I can't believe it. It's hit the top channel from here to here. We've hit the top channel. Now I can see why it stopped right there. Look at that. It's kind of pulled and stopped right there. You broke a little bit above it, came underneath it, but there you go. If you're wondering why we stopped right there all of a sudden around that price, we've hit the top channel of this huge trend line here. Question is, what's going to happen now? What's going to happen? Is it going to pierce through it and then go ballistic? It can go nuclear. It can just like start shooting like crazy. I would have to say, be very careful. Be very cautious. If you're already in a long position and you got a lot of profits, potentially you could take some profits off. It depends where you bought in. If you bought in around 1,000 and under, if you're smart enough, you already take profits. You probably would have already taken profits. Okay, let me answer some of the questions here. It says, does Amazon buying a domain name clarify acceptance of Bitcoin? Well, I don't know what domain name they were buying, so I don't know. But the fact that they purchase domain names of cryptocurrencies, maybe. I think it's only a matter of time before Amazon does accept Bitcoin as a payment, but I don't know if it'll necessarily do any good. Merchant adoption at this point doesn't really make a difference because I think Bitcoin's already well known, and I don't think it'll bump the price up. I think it'll be good news, but I don't think it's not like Overstock.com. When they first did it, it really bumped up the price. I do remember that. But the problem with adoption like that is they dump the coins. They don't really hold on to any of the coins, and that's a problem. Yes, buy Bitcoin, Windows XP. That's what I use, and the reason I use that because I have a printer and a lot of software that I still use today to do all my wonderful memes. And so if I upgrade to any newer versions of Windows, my printer is no longer useful. All the software I have is no longer useful. So yes, I am a penny pincher. I just don't see the point because it just works. And not only that, all the laptops are also used. I buy the Panasonic Toughbooks, and I remember they used to be like $2,000 for the one I have right now. Now they cost like $300, maybe $350. As a matter of fact, it's harder and harder to find Windows XP. So this might become a collector's item. Yes, dual overhead camness, there's always a pullback. And yes, bears do have to shit in the woods. They have to. They have to. So how does a nuclear Richie Rich asks how high does a nuclear unicorn take us past the trend line? Okay, so when when the market reaches exuberance, all right, a ridiculous exuberance, and it breaks the top trend line of an uptrending channel, it goes berserk because one reason is if everybody sees what I'm seeing, their assumption is that we've reached the top of the market. So they put in either a sell order or they put in a short. And a lot of people trade on margin. Okay. So there's a lot of people who trade on margin with very little Bitcoin. And so they put in a short or they put in a margin short. And so the problem is, people don't, this is a zero sum game. Once your coins and your Bitcoins on a zero sum game on an exchange, if a majority of traders have a margin short or have already shorted at the top of the market there, they're going to feed the 10 or 5% of the people who are going to make money. And so what happens is it causes a short squeeze driving up the price. There's probably some whale out there that's looking at the order book right now and sees everybody in a short position because they probably made the same trend line here, thinking that we reached the top of the market, and they're going to basically screw 80%, 90%, 95% of the participants out there on the exchanges, and they're going to put in a huge market order, a buy order, and it's going to knock everyone's shorts out, squeeze them out, causing everyone to buy. Basically, having all the shorters, right? Having all the shorters buy, and that's what's going to drive it beyond that trend line. So look into the order books, and the thinking is most people who are trading are thinking like they see this chart or they see this trend line and they're saying, okay, we hit the top of the market's going to crash. Well, not necessarily. It may actually even spike up higher than that because of the short squeeze. That's dual overhead camness. You shorted Bitcoin once and had a really bad time. Yeah. Well, so that's one reason. The other reason could also be market exuberance. Even though I've made this trend line, the channel is the top channel is right there. The line is there. People who don't know anything about this will just see the price continually going up, and they will FOMO. They will buy into it, and they'll be rich for, I don't know. It could be a week. It could be all the way up till November 16th. Okay, until the hard fork, and then after that it can crash, or it can take a correction or a pullback. But typically, that's the scenario I'm thinking, and so hopefully that helps you guys out. Yeah, I heard Rich. I heard about that too. Someone got wrecked on a 50 million a few days ago on the biggest liquidation in history. I've heard about that. I don't know, but it would make sense. So the shorts are long. The shorts, there's more shorts than longs. Interesting. 23,000 shorts versus 20,000 longs on Bitphoenix. Yeah. So if you look at that metric, yeah, people don't make money being in the majority on exchanges. You have to be in the majority. I mean, you have to be in the minority. So that's why 80% of the traders, or even up to 95% of the traders, lose money, and the 5% make money. You have to be on the other side of the winning trade. And if the majority of people are short, well, how can they make money, right? The 10 or 5% aren't enough. There's not enough money there to feed the 80 to 90% of the people who are on one side of the trade. So it has to go the other way to make any money. Yeah, DD 8209. Anytime a banker, government agency, or CME get involved, it's always a bad thing for the average six-pack Joe. I had some concerns about that too. The news about the CME, the futures trading, Bitcoin as a, I don't know, futures contract or derivatives. I'm not sure. Um, Maybe, but Bitcoin is really different. It's like you have to have the real thing to trade on Bitcoin exchanges. Um, it's not like the electronic exchange notes, the XBTC. Like a lot of the regulated exchanges trade on. I don't think those have any effect on the regular like Bitstamp or Bitphoenix or any of the actual Bitcoin exchanges, because you have to literally have Bitcoin to dump on these exchanges in order to drive the price down. And right now, everything what I can see as far as the price action itself is a indicator. Not sometimes the volume and the RSI and all this other stuff, lines and Fibonacci's. They're all tools, but the number one thing that every trader should be looking at is the price. If you look at the price, that's the number one indicator. And so the price tells me that there is more demand than Bitcoin that is available. And so hence the reason why the high price. And so anyways, if anybody has any more questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer. But I'll be ending the show real soon. So, and thank you everybody in the live stream for coming on and watching, and thank you for everybody who is watching. I do appreciate uh, you taking the time out of your day and listening to me just jabber on and everything. Let me go back to the meme. Okay, there we go. Actually, let me out of this. Back to the meme here. So if nobody has any more further questions, or anybody want to chit chat in the chat in the live stream, I'll probably be concluding this episode. So the meme is, "I'm ready, promotion." Hashtag yes2x. Promoters, be careful out there. If you don't want to go to jail or be fined or have all your money that you made be seized and taken away from you for basically an unlawful act. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of YouTubers. I wouldn't call them, wannabe celebrities, kinda. There were some celebrities who tweeted out some stuff, but I wouldn't say they promoted it. I think they just, for the most part, just made I don't think they were paid to tweet out anything. But I think that public statement from the SEC, it should be a wake-up call, for those people who have enjoyed the benefits of pumping and dumping or promoting. Right now, you don't want to be the number one person to be found on the search. You really don't, because there's a good chance you're going to be targeted, or you have already been a target, and they're probably already gotten warrants, subpoenas to tap your phone, to tap your computer, to find out how many videos you've made, even the ones that you've deleted. All right, they're going to go and get those and retrieve them from YouTube. Um, you know, if this statement has come out, it's a good chance that they're already investigating you already. You just don't know it. And the thing about, the government and law enforcement is they don't really make their move until they know for 100% you're going to get convicted. Even if you try to fight this in court, you're going to lose. So if you think I'm okay, they would have gotten me now. Well, that's not the case. Okay, they're going to give you enough rope to hang yourself, and when they got enough sufficient evidence to basically watertight convict you, or fine you, or seize the money that you've illicitly gained, that's when you're going to get it. All right, now you've been warned. You've been warned about the DAO as being security. If you continue, I'm pretty sure if you continue to do what you're doing, and now you can't be ignorant or willfully ignorant. I'm too stupid to realize what I was doing is not a good defense. It's actually a very poor defense. So, Richie Rich says it's already too late. Well, if you don't know, or if you're too stupid, fine. But I think if you continue to do it after this public announcement and after I made this video, and you are willfully ignorant, you just turn a blind eye to all this, thinking that nobody's watching you. I would even be careful to answer emails about doing a promotion at this point. Okay, wouldn't surprise me if you're being set up. So, anyways, all right, I'm going to conclude this episode, and thank you for everybody for watching. Like, dislike, leave a comment after the live stream. Do a video response. Another thing that would tremendously help me out, if you want to, please share this video so other people can know about this, and especially for the promoters out there. If any promoters are watching, take this to heart. All right, don't be foolish and go to jail, or lose all your money, or very little money that you even have. So, did Dual Red Camnus asks, did you commit a crime? Dual Red Camnus, I commit three crimes every day. All right, 3 crimes every day. Supposedly, everybody commits 3 crimes every day. Probably, most likely, I've committed some kind of crime. The question is, are you going to get caught for it? Well, I guess I'll just keep doing what I do until I do get caught. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to conclude this episode. Bye-bye now.